I know I'm a little late on this one, so sue me, but I'm going to get into why people hate the Switch 2. Let's get into it. And also, yes, Retrofied is a fanboy, even he admits it, but I promise you he's one of the good ones.
Hey everybody, Retrofied here. Today's day 26 in this month-long marathon leading up to the Switch 2's launch. And this means that we are 6 days away. I genuinely can't believe that we are so close. I'm so excited for this system.
I understand, Retrofied, you're excited to get ripped off.
I haven't been so excited for something since like Tears of the Kingdom or since the dawn of time.
Really, you went from Tears of the Kingdom to the dawn of time. You know, there was a lot of good things in between that time period. You know, Super Smash Brothers, you should have been way more excited for that one. That game is 10 times better than Tears of the Kingdom.
Console is truly shaping up to just be incredible, but since it's shaping up to be incredible, it's gonna
I wouldn't say incredible. It's having a rocky launch so far.
Have some negativity surrounding it. So that's what I want to talk about in today's video, is taking a step back from just talking about new things about the Switch 2 or talking about how excited I am for the Switch 2 and just talk about...
See, like I said, he may be a fanboy, but at least he can sit there and call Nintendo out for their BS.
Why the Switch 2 is so hated upon, and why...
Oh, I'm pretty certain I can come up with a few good reasons, but I want to hear your take.
Some of it is right, and a lot of it, too, is also wrong. So if you guys are excited about the Switch 2, make sure to leave a comment below, tell me what you're excited about.
You know, he actually does do some pretty good update stuff, you know, new stuff coming out, better than a little certain someone I know. Trust me, he definitely puts the real essence in this news.
So I've already said in previous videos, and I've already said in this video, but I'm so excited for this system, and so many people are excited about this system, and just, there's so many hate to these.
Yes, I know. There's a lot of hate. Let's get on. Come on. Let's hear your opinion. What is wrong with the system?
People who are excited for the system, and that is just not cool. I understand not liking Nintendo as a company and not liking the stuff Nintendo puts out or the stuff Nintendo does, because yes, Nintendo is a terrible company. What they've been doing lately is unacceptable. We all need to fight through, but trust me, I am cherishing this moment right now. It is very rare to sit there and find a Nintendo fanboy in the wild actually saying what is wrong with Nintendo. Nintendo has been doing some really shady business tactics and just weird things with the Switch 2 that kind of turn a lot of people off from Nintendo and makes them, you know, not want to get the Switch 2, but to spread that hate to these people who are just excited about the system.
I will agree, spreading hate to them is completely wrong, but criticism, that is all fair.
Is just wrong. I've seen so many people, even in my comment section, who are just excited about the Switch 2 and just getting shut down immediately because...
Okay, that one made no sense when they were like, no, it should be the base game. I mean, I'm assuming that it has something to do with the price, but I don't know because I didn't physically see the whole damn comment. That's just, yeah, that one made no sense. Whoever sat there and typed that one up, come on, man, if you're going to sit there and complain about the price, you got to do better than that.
Oh, Nintendo is a bad company. I think it's great to be excited in what you want to be excited about, and it just sucks that a lot of people are going to spread hate just because. So, getting that out of the way, let's actually talk about the Switch 2.
Okay, thank God. You know I don't got all day. You know I'm a busy man.
So with the Direct, I feel like they shot themselves in the foot because this Direct kind of sucked.
I completely agree. Finally, we got a Nintendo fanboy speaking out. Good job.
I even made a video about it. I was just so kind of mad about this Direct. They had just not announced very many titles. You could even ask Finn if I was mad. Finn, was I upset about this Direct?
Yes, this Direct was terrible. For one, they didn't even include the price of the game and the price of the console, so that's already shame on them for doing that. You know why they did it. They did it to be extremely deceptive.
But this Direct just was not the greatest. They still announced some really cool titles. Mario Kart World I'm super excited about, but they did so many weird things with...
Yes, they did name a couple good titles, but unfortunately, we know there's going to be a certain somebody that's going to watch this video, and Retrofied, I am truly sorry, but you're going to finally get on the Harmon Smith bashing train. Once he finds out about you, he will find out a way to bash you somehow.
This Direct. One, they didn't show off the price, which is a clear indicator that they knew they were in the wrong for the price, and even for the price of the games. They knew that they were in the wrong, and also there were just so many third-party titles that weren't very good. I've said in previous videos,
Okay, I do believe that Borderlands 4 might actually be good. We won't know until it comes out, so I think that could be if it plays good and the game's actually good. When it comes to Hogwarts Legacy, no, Hogwarts Legacy is actually an amazing game. The unfortunate part is I think it's an abomination the port they gave you guys on the Switch 1, charge you guys all that money for that game, and then it has the audacity like, well, you want the Switch 2 version? Here, just give us $10, even though if you bought it, you should have just got it for free anyways.
Is that the third-party support on the Switch 2 is going to be crazy, but when you announce so many just bad third-party games in your Switch 2 Direct, it just makes it kind of suck.
Alright, I don't remember all the games that got announced in the Direct, but if you wanted to sit here and put some really terrible third-party ones, you should have put like Star Wars Outlaws, any of the sports games that are supposed to be allegedly coming. Those would have been a lot better, trust me.
Remember, this was the Switch 2 Direct, not just another Nintendo Direct. This was the Switch 2 Direct. I feel like they didn't show off enough about the system and just kind of showed a lot of third-party games and just not much. I feel like they've been drip.
I agree with you, and you know what? Hey, I'm sorry I got to keep interrupting, you know, for the whole copyright reason and all. But, and I'm not trying to take away from your spotlight. I know this is your time to shine because I'm trying to show the world that there are some good Nintendo fanboys out there. But Nintendo has done a very piss poor job marketing their console and their games. They've been letting us do it all for them.
And now another thing, the game prices.
Yes, the audacity they have for overcharging us for an $80 Mario Kart World. That is unacceptable, and I am so glad that you can point that out. Sorry for interrupting, RetroFi, continue.
Doug Bowser said that the game prices are going to be a variable. They'll change depending on the game, but it doesn't make a lot of sense.
Well, it makes a lot of sense because they're thinking of it like, oh, well, you know, some of the games, because a lot of us have been complaining that they've been, you know, not just Nintendo, but a lot of companies been sitting here pushing out these $60, $70 games, but then giving us like less than 10 hours of gameplay, which it shouldn't have been that high. So they're like, oh, well, we'll just do variable price increases. You know, that's what they're doing. They're sitting there wanting to overcharge us, you know, and they want to sit there and keep the games at that level, at like the $60, $70 level that really shouldn't even be there in the first place, and then they want to overcharge on top of that. That's what they mean by that.
So when you look at Mario Kart is a big family or friend game, so to charge that game for $80 is crazy. We just got up to $70 probably about like 2 or 3 years ago in the game.
Really? Really, Retrofied? You had to sit there and put the inflation? It has nothing to do with inflation. They keep sitting there saying that the game development getting expensive, but at the same time, they're sitting there saying that they're making record profits. Now, I don't know about Nintendo, but I know plenty of other developers that have been saying that crap.
Market. So to just go up to 80 for a Mario Kart game sucks. So with this statement, they're basically saying that Mario Kart World is better than a Donkey Kong Bonanza.
Yes, they are, but also they know they can get away with charging $80 for Mario Kart World. I do not think, like, there are a lot of people that love Donkey Kong, don't get me wrong. I actually do like Donkey Kong also. He is my second favorite Mario character in the Mario franchise. But I will sit there and tell you, if they release that game at $80, I do not think they're going to get away with it because it's been a long time since we've had a 3D Donkey Kong game, let alone any Donkey Kong game for that matter.
Which doesn't make sense because Donkey Kong Bonanza is a single-player adventure game. It's something entirely new. And Mario Kart World is Mario Kart. Yes, it looks amazing, but it kind of, like I said in the past, looks a tad bit lackluster. So
extremely. It does extremely look lackluster, even though I will still say Yoshi looks adorable.
So for them to charge $80 for this family game and charge $70 for another big 3D platformer game doesn't make any sense at all. I feel like if the prices were different, or if the prices were both $70, none of these price debates would be happening at all.
They won't be getting as much hate for it, but even if they would have raised them to 70, I do think some people would have complained. I would have complained because Nintendo didn't really have the standard of 70, but like I've said before, I have accepted the $70 price tag because that's what the gaming industry has set at now, but I still think we should push back because they can make these games lower and still make plenty of profit.
Alright, so now you're about to get the fanboy side of what I think about the prices. I think that going up to 80 is not justifiable. I still think it's not a justifiable price.
Ha! Thank you! See? I tell you guys that we can find some good fanboys. I don't think I've said that much, but I'm telling you, there are some good fanboys out there.
70 I think is okay. Obviously, when you look at older
No. $70 is not okay. 60 is where it should be at.
games prices, they were 60 back in like 2006, and converting that to now, yes, games should have gone up to like 80, but right now, I feel like that is not a good move.
RetroFight, I have been defending you this whole video. No, they should have never gone up to $80. If they're making record profits and they were keeping them at 60, then it's perfectly fine to keep them at 60.
The economy isn't the greatest right now. It hasn't been in a while. And to just kind of update the price $20 more randomly just doesn't make any sense. When there are still games that are being 60 for new games, it just doesn't make sense.
They also got a new game that's already out that was set at 50, Expedition 33. There you go.
I feel like if they were to start the 70, maybe back in 2018, this now would have made a lot more sense. Maybe?
No, it would have not made a lot more sense. What are you talking about? Okay, even if they would have had the games at 70 then went up to 80, they would still get us just as much heat for it, because that is the first ever $80 game. It doesn't matter who it would have been. It could have been GTA 6. They would have got heat for it too.
In 3 or 4 years, the price would have made sense. You know, if they had 70 now and went up in 3 or 4 years to 80, that'd make a little bit more sense. But it just doesn't justify that $80 price point.
And no way can it ever justify an $80 price point, unless they include the very first booster course pack. Then I will sit there and agree.
You know, obviously we only know 2 of the games, and one of them's 70 and the other's 80. Maybe in the future more games will just be 70, but it looks like they're not going to go that route.
Just you wait. They're going to sit there and put Kirby Air Riders at $80. Just you wait.
80 is the max price that they're going to go for these games, but that doesn't mean that they're not all just going to be 80. So next...
Oh, it will get to $80 RetroFight. I promise you that one. It will get to where all the games are at 80. Trust me. Well, maybe not all the games. You know, the AAA games will be set at $80. Obviously, the AA will be less, but no, they're going to move all those up there. Just you wait.
The game key cards. I feel like they also shot themselves in the foot with this too, because they just shouldn't have labeled it. Labeling them as something completely different than any other company's labeled them before doesn't make any sense.
Oh, yes, it is. But that's going to be it for my reaction. Go check out his video if you want to see the full thing. Like I said, he is actually a good one. This Nintendo fanboy is a good one, so do not send no hate. Let him know I sent you, but absolutely no hate. But that's it for my reaction. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me or not. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay vigilant.